Hello students, welcome to class 12 physics class. Today we discuss the special type of diodes, one of the special type of diode. In your syllabus for this year or this session, only 3 diodes are there: LED, photodiode and solar cell. Okay, so today we discuss only the LED because you know everybody's house LEDs are there, and you know how its a structure, how it looks like a LED, different colors of LED. But how LED work we studied in this video. So LED is a one type of special PN junction diode. So let's start with the first definition of a LED. LED means light emitting diodes. Okay, light emitting, that means from this semiconductor or device or from this PN junction diode we get light. We get light, or light will be emitted from this semiconductor diodes. And we know that in class 8 we studied that LEDs are used as a tester in an electric circuit. Why? Because if very small amount of currents are present inside the circuit, then also LED glows, and it represent that the LEDs are the currents are present. Okay, so LED are the most widely used semiconductor diodes among all the different types of semiconductor diodes available today. Light emitting diodes emit either visible light or invisible infrared light. So those are, we see that the yellow color, red color, these are the visible. Okay, and it also emit the invisible infrared light, which we cannot see because we have one visible range over there when we studied the electromagnetic magnetism in that chapter, electromagnetic waves. Okay, in that chapter we studied the 3 categories are there. One is a ultraviolet light, another one is a invisible infrared light, another one is a visible. That visible, within that visible light range, those lights are present, we can see only that lights. Okay, so light emitting diodes emits visible light as well as the invisible infrared lights when it will be forward bias. This is the main condition. LED always works in a forward bias condition. It does not work in a reverse bias condition. The LEDs which emit invisible infrared lights are used to remote controls. In TV remotes, you see that the one LED at the top, it will be attached over there, one LED attached over there. But when we switch on the TV with the remote, but that LED does not glow the light because it emits the invisible infrared light. Okay, so that light are not visible to us, but it will work. Okay, so this is a definition of LED. LED means the light emitting diode. It is operate in a forward bias condition only. It emits visible light as well as the invisible infrared lights. And for visible infrared light, this purpose we use the LEDs in a remote control. So this is a structure, or this is a picture of a light emitting diode. Okay, this is red color capsule. Sometimes you see that there's a white color transparent capsule like structure over there. Sometimes a green color also be there. So red color, because red color light is emitted. Sometimes it will be, color will be varied. That depends upon the which type of materials, which type of semiconductor we used, or which type of doping we use. That depending upon that, the colors of the LED depends. Okay, a light emitting diode is an optical semiconductor device that emits light when voltage is applied. Okay, and voltage means it is a forward bias voltage. Here you see that one long leg is there, another one is a short leg. Long leg represent positive terminal, short leg represent negative terminal. So when we connect the LED in forward bias, we always connect this long leg with a battery positive and this short leg with a battery negative. This is called the forward bias. Forward bias in P side, P means positive. P side of a semiconductor is connected with a battery positive, and inside of a semiconductor connected with a battery negative. So here also, because this is LED, this is also a semiconductor diode. So this long leg represent the positive side. That's why this is connect with a battery positive, and short leg represent the negative terminal. So that's why it is connected with a negative terminal of the battery. This is a forward bias connection. So in other words, we can say that LED is an optical semiconductor device that convert electrical energy to light energy. It is connected in forward bias region, so some voltage also be applied over there. We know that what happened in a forward bias, in forward bias, after some voltage, that is knee voltage, the current will gradually increases, not linearly increases, it will gradually increases. So current will increase means the bulb or that LED start glows. So LED also operates in a forward bias region, so forward bias condition. So whenever we apply the forward bias voltage, after some voltage the LED starting glows. That means the electrical energy we supply, and that energy is converted to light energy. It will emit the light from that LED. We get the light. That's why we can say that semiconductor LED is a semiconductor device, optical semiconductor device, because it's related to light. That's why we can say that this is an optical semiconductor device that converts electrical energy into light energy. So how we define totally the light emitting diode? Light emitting diode stands LED stands on light emitting diode. It operates in a forward bias region. It has two legs, one is a short leg, another one is a long leg. Long leg is connected with a battery positive, short leg is a negative terminal, so it will connect it with a battery negative terminal. And this optical semiconductor device convert electrical energy into light energy. We get light from this semiconductor device. That's why we can say that we apply forward bias voltage, and from output, as an output we get light energy. So what happened when the light emitting diode is a forward bias, the free electrons in the conduction band recombines with the holes in the valence band and releases energy in the form of light. How we get the light, later we also discuss it, explain it. But what happened, why we get the light? Because we know that in our energy band diagram we see that there are two types of band. One is the valence band, another one is a conduction band. So first of all, the electrons get some sufficient amount of energy to break the covalent bond and jump from valence band to covalence bond. So when it jumps and when it cover or travels some distance, that is a band gap or the energy band gap. Okay, when it travels this band gap, it requires some amount of energy, and it reaches to the conduction band. And now if that electron try to come back, return back to the valence band, then how it will be returned back? Whatever the energy that electron absorbed to emit from valence band to conduction band, if that electron emits, release that energy from the conduction band, then it will lose its energy, and it again return back to the, or come back to the valence band and recombined with the hole, because one hole is the if the electrons is break the covalent bond and move from valence band to covalent bond, there is a one crisis of electrons is created, that is called hole. So from conduction band to valence band, when the electrons come, so it will recombine with that holes. And how it will come to the from conduction band to valence band? Whatever the energy the electrons absorb in the first time, that amount of energy, if it release from the conduction band, so it loses energy and it will come return back to its initial position, that means in a valence band, and recombines with the hole. And that emits release energy, that it releases energy is in the form of photon, with the energy h into nu or h into f. F is a frequency, and H is a Planck's constant. In dual nature property, we also studied this Planck's constant. So that whatever the electrons in the conduction band, it will release that energy. Its equation is E equals to H into F with a some frequency, because every light has a different frequency. So whatever the energy it releases, it has some frequency. Okay, that is H into nu in the form of photons, and we know that the light is consist with the photon particles. When the photons is ejected from the conduction band, we see that the light will emit from the diode. That's why the LED glows. In this way, LED work. Well, or later we also discuss in details. Okay. This phenomenon is happening inside the LED. That's why the LED glows light, or that's why from LED we get the light, because it emits the photon, the energy in the form of photon. And photon is a particle which consists, the light consists with that photon particle. So whenever the photons is emitted, that's why we see that the light will emit it from the diode. That's why this device is called light emitting diode. Okay. This is a symbol of light emitting diode or LED, because from this diode we get electric energy, or it will emit the electrical energy. So that's why we see, draw the arrow sign outward direction, because from this junction or from this diode the energy is released, or light will be emitted, and we see, or we see that light will or we see that the LED will glows. That means light will emitted from the diode. That's why the symbol. The other symbol is similar to the PN junction. The triangular sign represent P, the perpendicular black color line, this is represent N. But LED, the specification, how we can differentiate between normal PN junction and the LED, with that symbol, with this arrow sign outward direction, that means light will emit. That's why. Now we discuss how light emitting diode or LED works. How light emitting diode works. So first of all, the condition of LED, that it will always connect in a forward bias condition. When light emitting diode is in forward bias condition, the free electrons, what happened in a forward bias, we also studied the forward bias and reverse bias in case of a PN junction diode. So when the LED is in forward bias, the free electrons from inside and the free holes, that is the majority carriers from P sides, are pushed towards the junction. One depletion layer will created in unbiased condition. The forward bias means we apply some external voltage or some external potential. P is connected to the battery positive and N is connected to the battery negative. So battery in P side already holes are exist, but because of this depletion layer, they will not move from P to N or N to P. So when we supply external voltage, some external voltage, that means in a forward bias voltage, because P side is connected to the positive, so holes and holes are repel each other, and the inside the electrons and electrons are repel each other, and they will push towards the junction. Because of this, what happened? The width of the depletion layer decreases. So whenever the depletion layer will be decreases, what happened? Majority carriers from the both side or both region will diffuse from P to N side or N to P side. Let's see, like this way. When free electrons reach the junction or depletion region, some of the free electrons recombine with the holes in the positive ions. In this figure, you see that some of the electrons, that circle 1, the black circle 1, this is a recombination of free electrons and hole. Whenever they will push towards the junction, and in near the junction, in P side negative and immobile ions are present, and in N side positive immobile ions are present. So whenever these holes are pushed towards the junction in both sides, the holes and electrons are recombined together, and inside also holes and electrons recombine together. Okay. Thus, the free electrons recombine with holes in the depletion region. inside the depletion region. In a similar way, holes from p site recombine with electron in the depletion region. Holes from p site, because this recombination takes place in both sides, because depletion layer is present in a both sides near the junction, little bit about from the little bit present inside the p side, another one is side is the n side. So inside the, or not only the inside, in both side, in the depletion region, this recombination of free electrons and holes takes place. Okay. And we know that the positive ions have less number of ions. Why this recombination takes place? Recombination means they will attract each other. Positive ion means there is a crisis of electrons, there is a less number of electrons, so they will easily accept the electron, or we can say that they will recombine each other. Therefore, they are ready to accept the electrons. Because of the recombination, the free electrons and holes in the depletion region, the width of the depletion region decreases. It will start decreases. As a result, more charge carriers will cross the p-n junction. That means holes from p side to n side, and electrons from n side to p side. Now, some of the charge carriers from p side and the n side will cross the p-n junction before they recombine the depletion region. Whenever the depletion width started decreasing, some of the free electrons from n side to p side, or some of the free holes from p side to n side will cross the p-n junction direct before they combine in the depletion region. That means these holes and these free electrons are not combined inside the depletion region. They will recombine inside the n side or the p side. You see that this is a recombination takes place inside the p type region, and here inside the n type region, and 1, 2, 3, 4 is near the junction, that means inside the depletion region. So the recombination not only takes place inside the depletion region, as well as it will takes place in the p type, p side, and the n side also. For an example, some free electrons from n type semiconductor cross p-n junction and recombines with the holes in p type semiconductor, and similarly we can say that some of the free holes from p type semiconductor cross the p-n junction and recombine with the electrons in a n type semiconductor. Similar way. Okay. So thus recombination takes place in depletion region as well as p type and n type semiconductor also, or p side and n side, or p region in n region of the semiconductor also. That means in 3 places this recombination will takes place. Okay, due to that recombination, these free electrons in the conduction bands, recombination will takes place. When they will recombine, before they recombine, they will emit some energy, because when will that electrons, free electrons, when jump from valence band to conduction band, this free electron in the conduction band releases energy in the form of light before they recombine with the holes in the valence band. Okay, that recombine, this process will take place inside the valence band only, not in the conduction band, because the electrons are jumped from valence band to conduction band. That's why they will conduct the electricity or electric current. But after emitting that some energy, they will again return back to the valence band and recombine with the holes. When it will break the covalent bond, their holes, one holes is created, and when it will come again return back to the valence band, because there is a crisis of electrons is present, there is a less number of electrons are present, so these holes can easily accept that electron and recombine with that electrons. So this free electrons in the conduction band releases energy in the form of light or in the form of photon before they recombine with holes in the valence band. Okay, and this photon has the energy which that is equal to the energy released by that free electrons, that is, and practically or theoretically also it will prove that that energy of the photon is equal to the h into f or h into mu. If you denoted the frequency by small f, then you can write E equals to hf, or if you denoted the frequency by mu, then h into mu. Okay. So the energy of the photons, that, and we know that the light is a light consists with that photon particles with that energy. So when that electrons releases that energy from inside the conduction band before the recombination, we see that the LED glows or the light will emit from the diode. I hope it is you understand how the LED work. Application of LED. LED is used in many ways, you know, in a calculator, in a remote control, in picture phones, traffic signal, burglar alarm system. There also LED is used. This is the IV characteristics curve for LED. So, and here you see that 4 graphs are there, because it depends upon the color of light, which color, because the photon has energy h into f. So which color of light is emitted, that frequency of the different color of light is different. If suppose it will be infrared, that is from remote control in TV remote, that we cannot visible, it is not visible to us. So that black one is a infrared. It also work in a forward bias. Red color we can see that, then this one is visible to us. So for red, this graph nature will be same, just the knee voltage will be different for different color of light. Then next one is the orange color, and the maximum will deviate for the blue color of light. You see that the blue color of light. Okay. So this is the IV characteristics curve for LED. Different color of LED, different, or you can draw any one. Okay. If you don't have time in an examination hall, so you just plot x and y axis. In y axis forward voltage, y axis current in milliampere, in x axis forward voltage, and you just draw the nature. Any one you can draw, either red, or don't mention. If you draw only one characteristics, please don't mention the color of light. Okay. So any one you can draw instead of this 4. I hope it is clear, because this graph, this IV characteristics graph denotes the different color have different frequencies. That's why the graph nature will be same, just like different from each other. The knee voltage will be different for different color of light. I hope it is clear. Now, advantages of LEDs over the low power lamp or the bulb. It is a low operational voltage and less power. If little bit amount of energy, electric current is present, then also it will glow. It is a fast action and no warm up time required. Long life, and it will, if we use in proper way, then it will also in many suppose in more than one bulb we can use in many times. One not bulb, one LED. And it is first on off switching capability. Okay, this is the advantages of LEDs over low power lamp. I hope it is clear now. So once again I just recalls how the I will repeat how the PN junction or LED will work. As we know that the LED works in a forward bias condition. In forward bias, more free electrons are and more free electrons from inside and holes from p side are pushed towards the junction because we externally connect that PN junction in a forward bias condition. So when they will push together towards the junction, so what happened inside the depletion region, the immobiles, holes and immobiles ions, electrons are present, and that electrons and free holes are recombine each other and before recombine they will release some energy in the form of photon with some frequency, and this photons will emit as a light. That's why we see that the LED will glows, or LED will emitting diodes. Okay, and this recombination not only takes place in the inside the depletion region, this also takes place in the p side also and the n side also, p region also and the n region also. Okay, I hope it is clear. That conduction band and valence band, you know that already we discussed in a PN junction, but still if you have any problem then please mention in the comment box. I will surely I will clear your doubts. I hope it is clear to everyone. So have a nice day. Tata.